Hey my Legion, how y'all doing today? I got a couple reviews, food reviews, and I got a couple movie reviews all together in one video for y'all. And the first thing, I got two things on one plate, but the first thing I wanted to talk about was and review a Shurfine Roma tomatoes, right? And then usually you go right into Shurfine, they have like a produce section, and they've had these Roma tomatoes for I don't know how long. I always get them because I think they keep their firmness longer than most tomatoes. For some tomatoes, you get them and then after a while they get mushy. These usually keep their firmness for a long time. That's what one of them looks like. See, it's got the Shurfine logo right there. Right, Roma tomatoes. These are $1.89 a pound, and this thing right here was less than a pound of $1.21. See, and they always have 3 in a container. I bought 2 containers, and this is what looks like cut up. And also I'm going to be reviewing fried green cabbage. I've done fried red cabbage, but never fried green cabbage. Because you saw that the last video I did with a double entendre name. I cut up some cabbage. My dad wanted me to make some, and I made some for me and some for him too. And I had some left. I couldn't eat it all these are leftovers. Well, the cabbage is leftover from last night. Well, anyways, let's check out the tomato first. Like I said, I cut it in slices. Show you one right here. And like I said, I'm a food reviewer that loves tomatoes. But there might be a few other out there. Most food reviewers do not like tomatoes. I love them. See, look at that delicious looking thing. Tomato with all the seeds in there. I love the seeds too. Give it a shot. I really like them. Good in salads and one of my BLTs, and a lot of my niece doesn't like tomatoes. A lot of people try BLTs, and Dane Drops was doing a whole other thing saying he doesn't like tomatoes and lettuce, and he's just doing it for review and stuff. But I thought it was delicious. I love tomatoes. Let's try out. I give that well, I'm starting a 9.5 out of 10 for the Shurfine's Roma tomatoes. And let's try out the fried green cabbage I also got from Shurfine. Okay. That's a 10 out of 10. I love the taste of the cabbage. It still has some firmness. A lot of times with this thing, the tomatoes and stuff, maybe a little bit of salt or some garlic powder is really good on it. Or maybe like tomatoes, if you put them in a salad or something like that, some poppy seed dressing or olive oil is delicious. Well, there you have it for the reviews of the food. Now I want to do the movie reviews. If you remember that I did a Kid Dynamite video, and I've been on a kick about the Bowery Boys, but on these they're known as East Side Kids because when they first started out, it was like a vaudeville act, I think, or a Broadway act, and went to Broadway, and then they did a movie called Dead End, which I've never seen. I want to see it, and that was a dramatic movie. And then it went on to some other companies, and they changed the Bowery Boys to different names so they could do with licensing or something like that. Through like the lower budgeted companies that they caught Poverty Road Pictures like Monogram and Astor, and they were either known as the Dead End Kids or the East Side Kids. And these ones are the East Side Kids movies. And then they went on the Bowery Boys, which are bigger budgeted movies, not super budget, but bigger budgeted movies that are you can't find on YouTube, unfortunately. Because I'm looking for clipped wings because I wanted to see that. They showed a whole bunch of them. They showed all the Bowery Boys one on TCM a long time ago. And I missed Clipped Wings. I wanted to see it. But well, the first movie on this is called Let's Get Tough. I thought this was like something on Junior G-Man, but it wasn't. Even though they mentioned Junior G-Man in this. And basically, they're a bunch of toughs. And, well, they're like a street gang, but not always bad, but sometimes they always get into mischief. And, I'd say street gang, it sounds too bad, but I mean, they're like a street gang, kind of. Or they hang around like little rascals, always getting in trouble. Except they're grown ups. They call themselves kids, but they're probably in their 20s. And basically, World War II, and Danny's brother got out of the military. He was in the military. He got out. They said that he was a spy. Well, they said subversive activity means spy. And the guys all frowned upon him. And he was, and then he got involved in a spy ring from Japan. I mean, it was, the people were Japanese but living in the States. And I don't want to give away anymore, but it was really entertaining. I liked it. I give it a big, I give that a 8 out of 10 for that one. Let's Get Tough. Another one is Mr. Wise Guy. And basically, these are about, and these guys really did get in trouble. They got arrested and everything. And they went to reform school. And they got arrested because the police weren't very good. If they even like mildly suspect you of something, they'd arrest you. And this happened to another guy who would get in real big trouble. And it was crazy. Very entertaining, but one guy was going to go to the chair because they assumed he did something he didn't do. And these cops suck. I won't want to get arrested by them. Oh man, it was terrible, but it was really good and very entertaining. It shows them, it has some comedy in it, but I like that too. I give that a 9 out of 10. Now, the next one is Flying Wild. I keep wanting to say Flying High, but it's called Flying Wild. 1941. This one does not have Hunt's Hall in it, which surprised me. And also, throughout these movies, there's a black guy, African American guy named, I can't remember his name. His name's Scrumo. Scrummo. I think it's Scrummo, I think, in the movie. Because they all have names like Muggs and Pee Wee and Skinny and stuff like that. And apparently he was a kid grown up who played Farina in The Little Rascals, which was pretty cool, and he's really funny in the movies. But this one is about like these guys, and they all have jobs except for Leo Gorcey, which is strange because none of them have jobs in most of the movies. And working on the airfield, and I found that's one guy's brother again that works there, the pilot, and they find out that they're trying to work with saboteurs. Because this is around 1940 and stuff, World War II, and spies and sabotage and stuff like that, and they get themselves in a lot of trouble. And this one's really good. I give it a 10 out of 10 for Flying Wild. It's awesome. Now, the one thing on my Roku, you can like a bunch of videos, and it's easier to watch them in a row. I found out that some of the copies are real choppy. Because I started watching a Flying Wild, and it was from Video Seller. It's really choppy on YouTube. I tried another one, Classic Comics Movies, and it's a much better print. And sometimes you can look up the titles and check the running times. Usually the ones with longer running times. But that Wayback Machine or Wayback When thing, Wayback When one, has a lot of self-promotion at the beginning and end of the movie. But usually if you look up a movie and they have they have a bigger running time, it means it's not as choppy. Usually that's why I learned my lesson with Flying Wild, because I saw it on Video Selling. It was all cut up. Mr. Wise Guy might have been all cut up because I saw it from there too. But you guys, if you look for these movies, see which has longer running time. Well, there you have it. I went on forever, but these are really good, and the movies are really good too. I don't know if anyone likes these movies from the 1940s and stuff, but I think they're pretty cool. I still watch modern day movies, but I think it's kind of fun being the only guy to review East Side Kid Bowery Boys movies. And of course, Shurfine Roma tomatoes, which most food reviewers don't like tomatoes. And also fried green cabbage. So until next time, bye, please. Take care, my liege.